Hey everyone, it's Jack and Andrew from Cultaholic. Andrew, how are you doing?
Oh, Jack, I am feeling fantastic after that reveal last night. We'll get to it, but I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good inside.
Reveal. Oh, in the wrestling?
Yeah,
Sorry.
in the wrestling, yeah. Oh, and something's coming home as well, I guess.
That's all I was thinking about.
As well.
Right, I'll do some news headlines, I suppose, yeah. I don't know what I was doing there. Thanks for joining in, though. It's been
Cool.
It's nice.
That's good.
Yep. First of all, Aleister Black has made his AEW debut. Also in AEW, a huge title match is set for Fyter Fest Night 1. And finally, WWE have announced a CoLocated SmackDown special. More on that in just a bit. So yes, first of all, Andrew, those who watched AEW last night will know that there was a massive debut, and it is indeed Aleister Black. It was a shocking scene, if I may say it, that because we've been expecting it, I think, but maybe not this soon. Would you agree?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, with a lot of the wrestlers, they've got a 90-day no-compete clause, from what I've read in some previous stuff as well. Some wrestlers have been pushing for a shorter one recently. And, I don't think we really know those wrestlers that have pushed for a shorter one. But my goodness, was it good to see Aleister Black in just an arena full of people and people just going mental, just popping to see the boy. And so happy.
We've lost a lot of crowd reactions because of the lockdown, a lot of unique special moments that happen in wrestling, and one of them was definitely the surprise debut. That's one of the best moments in wrestling when it's done well. PW Insider, for what it's worth, apparently reported the reason that it was only a 30-day no-compete clause in his contract was because when he got called up to the main roster, they just didn't adjust it to the standard 90 days, so he was kind of on a bit of an NXT one by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
But yes, it was all basically Tony Schiavone was in the ring, and then the lights dropped. He was talking to Arn Anderson, the lights went down, they came back up. There's Aleister Black in a lovely all-black suit as well. Big bruise over his right eye, which of course was removed in WWE, or injured on the steps.
There was some really cool stuff that tied into all of this. Obviously now his name is Malakai Black, not Aleister Black, and not Tommy End as we might have thought. But previously to him being announced, or him debuting, should I say, sorry, he posted a little short film. I saw it on his Instagram, and it basically goes through this transformation from Tommy End to now Malakai Black. It seems like we've got some sort of something maybe might be possessing Aleister Black or something, but it was cool because in that they referenced the eye. So he's in this asylum getting interrogated by these doctors, and one of them's like, "Oh, how's your eye doing?" After your little scrap, and Aleister Black's like, "Oh, you mean when it got pushed on the step and it got squished?" And the doctor's then like, "That never happened. That's all in your mind. That's all in your mind." And he's like, "I don't think it is." And it was really cool. It's really cool. If you haven't seen it, go and watch that. But yeah, I'm just very excited to see what happens now because he's going to do incredible things without a doubt.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him lose to Cody Rhodes too.
Yes,
because what happened was obviously Black Mass, down goes Arn Anderson, Cody gets in the ring, there's a nice dynamic, Aleister Black's all in black, and Cody by this point in the night had changed into more of a light, not an all white suit, but a lighter attire certainly, bit of visual duality there, and then for some reason just let Aleister Black or Malakai Black hit him with the Black Mass as well.
Yes.
He was checking on Anderson and he was blindsided, I suppose, and it looks like... It looks like Malakai's going to be a big old bad guy, and it looks like his first feud could be with Cody as well. We also have some matches to announce for Fyter Fest as well. Last night was a night of change and development in AEW. What a strange sentence that was. Because yes, a huge title match has been announced for Fyter Fest Night 1. What is that match, Andrew?
That is Carl Anderson versus Jon Moxley for the IWGP United States title, which is, I wasn't expecting that, but at the same time, give it to me. It'll be good.
Yeah. Carl Anderson, I never thought we'd see him in AEW. I thought maybe he was just a little bit, his career was maybe a little bit too past it, but no. He's always somebody who can sell a feud, cut in a promo, and I'm excited. I'm really excited to see him, actually.
Me too. Do you think the title's going to change, or do you reckon it's still firmly in Moxley's grasp for now?
No, I'd imagine it's still going to be around the waist of Jon Moxley, but you never know. Anything can happen in pro wrestling. But I think Jon Moxley. But there's some other big matches as well for that show as well. The FTW Championship is actually on the line as Brian Cage defends against Ricky Starks. Darby Allin, of course, will take on Ethan Page in a coffin match that was rescheduled, possibly, to be a bit more sensitive given the recent Miami tragedy, and they didn't want to have such a dark themed match, I suppose. Christian Cage versus Matt Hardy as well. Penelope Ford versus Yuka Sakazaki. She's back! Come on! And also we hear from Hangman Adam Page, who did confront Kenny Omega last night. So, and the fans, oh my word. The fans were... Because Kenny it was pure pantomime. He was like... There's no one, I've beaten everyone. There's no one for me left to face. And then everyone was like, we want Hangman. I was like, oh, it's good that fans are back. In other news, the XFL, Andrew, has been pushed back once again. They released a statement saying, while our discussions with the CFL did not ultimately lead to a collaboration, the effort reinforced our belief and commitment to developing the XFL for international spring football. We look forward to seeing everyone for kickoff in the spring of 2023. I think it's no great surprise maybe that this has been pushed back again just from the pandemic and everything. But at the same time, now that... Is The Rock still involved? Now that The Rock's involved, I was going to say, but I think he is a little bit.
Maybe, I'm not sure. To be fair, Jack, like the sports side of stuff, I'm not hugely familiar with too much of. Obviously, the XFL has not been the greatest success,
no,
to say the least. And to me, it's just surprising that they are still going ahead with this more than anything.
I think that The Rock bought some of Vince McMahon's shares. You know what? I'm going to have a little Google. Oh, Owen's in my ear. The Rock's the owner now. What? Yes. I knew he'd done something. Him and Danny Garcia, they bought it. So with The Rock behind it, who's going to stop the XFL? Did you ever have a team picked out of the teams that were announced, Andrew? Just based on name value alone?
What were they? Do you remember the names?
Don't you worry. I'll get them up right now.
I'll pick one.
Mine was the Dallas Renegades. I know, but they're all names of a similar standard, really. They're all pretty good. There was the St. Louis. Oh, I've started off too strong. I'll leave that one until a few teams in. The Dallas Renegades, the Houston Roughnecks, the Los Angeles Wildcats. Who are we going to beat? The Wildcats. The Seattle Dragons, the DC Defenders, the New York Guardians, the St. Louis Battlehawks, and the Tampa Bay Vipers. Everyone seemed to enjoy the Battlehawks quite a lot.
I'm going for Battlehawk. They all sound like gangs from the Warriors, Jack.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. I was a baseball fury for Halloween one year.
I remember that. I remember that. It looked really good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But then Ross stole the show because he was Brother Love and it looked really good. Yeah. And finally, I suppose we should get on to our final bit of news, because there's this weird SmackDown going on, Andrew. I'm a bit confused by it, but basically, WWE have released a statement, WWE Corporate have released a proper statement, saying that they're teaming up with Rolling Loud, the world's premier rap festival, that will bring Friday Night SmackDown to Rolling Loud Miami on July 23rd. This is the first ever collaboration between WWE and a major music festival. I would say that's not true.
No.
Because we know that NXT plays a download every year, but they seem to have forgotten that. Maybe a major American music festival.
Yeah,
but
perhaps.
What does this mean? How are they going to do this? Does this mean they're going to have the show and some hippity hop at the same time?
I reckon. I mean, obviously, just the history of WWE is has a lot of hip hop in it. A lot of hip hop artists come. We've had Bad Bunny. We've had recently like interactions with Cardi B, Machine Gun Kelly, all these rap artists and stuff. Flo Rida, Pitbull, all of them, all the rappers. Snoop Dogg. But
Snoop Dogg, yeah, of course.
I guess this is a good way to try and connect with a younger audience as well. Try and broaden the audience. The people at the festival who maybe don't really know much about wrestling. Like maybe that's a good idea to get them involved too. You know.
This makes the July 23rd edition, and I do agree with you. This makes the July 23rd edition sound crazy because they've said gracing the same stage as festival headliners Travis Scott, Post Malone, and ASAP Rocky. I've heard of all of them. WWE superstars will compete in matches live from Rolling Loud Miami. The July 23rd edition of Friday Night SmackDown on Fox will feature a split-site broadcast with multiple matches at Rolling Loud Miami, and the remainder of the evening held at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio. So it's going to be like half a normal show. Yeah, and then half whatever this is going to look like from the music festival. So that's
cool. That gives me like, do you remember when WWE and WCW were having like the final shows and they were like broadcasting stuff? Yeah, it's giving me that kind of feel. Perhaps maybe that's something that'll happen. But yeah, do you know what? It's something different. WWE are giving it a go. We'll see how it all pans out. But yeah, I think it's a good business decision really for them.
Yeah, I'm quite excited by this one. I'm surprised that wrestling companies haven't done more like this in the past. Maybe because sometimes it goes wrong, I suppose. But it's always gone down really well at Download. I know that in the UK there's a big cross section of wrestling and like alternative music fans. There's quite a big crossover that isn't so much in America, but it sounds like it's a more mainstream thing over there, so I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Yes, it seems like there's more news for us to talk about later on, so stay tuned, and we will be releasing probably a second news video in a short while. Andrew, thanks very much for joining me, and it's bloody coming home. It's coming.
Hello? Who's that? Football? Your tea's ready?
Get in here. Get to bed, you.
Get home, you dafty.
See you soon, everybody. Bye-bye.